Hi, gang. I just wanted to preface this video by pointing out why it seems to abruptly end. And the reason is last night during the stream, it seems like YouTube was having some issues with their streaming servers. And we were seeing a lot of drop frames on my end. But the video, actually, once it was rendered on YouTube, is fine, except for it's missing the last 20 minutes. And of course, I forgot to hit record on my end last night. So, the show originally featured the player's guide for City of Mist from Modiphius Entertainment, as well as the Master of Ceremonies toolkit. Well, the page through, the first look and page through of the Master of Ceremonies toolkit is lost. So I have actually downloaded the video from YouTube. I've added this. I've kind of trimmed it a little bit because it ended really abruptly. So there you have it. I apologize. The full show is not available. Those who watched it live got to enjoy it, but after the fact, unfortunately, not the case. So anyway, on with the show. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com. So tonight, I am hoping that this stream is working correctly because it seems like YouTube is having a serious issue with their streaming servers. So it has been showing that it's dropping like 70% of the frames. That's why I'm getting a late start. This is the fourth time I tried to get the stream going, and everything's fine on my side. I double-checked my upload speeds, everything else. Everything's good. It just seems YouTube's having an issue tonight. So, I don't know. I don't know for sure. So let me go in and double-check one quick thing. Yep, there we go. Okay. So hopefully, now it looks like we've kind of evened out. So it looks like we might be okay going forward. I don't know. I have no idea. In fact, it was funny. I start opening the show, and I see it just drop, and it's like 90% drop frames, and I pause, and I'm like, the Daily Dope's in the air. So I don't know. It's funny. It's even disconnected the chat. So something's going on. Something is going on with YouTube tonight. So I don't know. I don't know for sure what might be going on. In fact, you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to double check, make sure that this is streaming live. Because it would be the first time that I'd be streaming and start the stream and it's not actually live. Yep, we're okay. It's streaming. I double checked. I just went to YouTube, see what's up. So anyway, welcome aboard. Happy Thursday, everybody. Tonight is August 29th, 2019. This is episode 354 of The Daily Dope. It's Thursday, so I love talking about role-playing games on Thursdays. So tonight, I am going to take a first look and page through 2 core books for City of Mist. We're going to take a look at the player's guide, and we're also going to take a look at the Master of Ceremonies toolkit. So I am not doing any tabletop gaming news tonight because it's probably going to take us a bit of time to page through and take a look at these books. Now, I'm not going to jump into that just yet because I got a few things that I do want to cover. And first off, do want to mention this is a live stream. If this is the first time you've checked out the show, be it live or after the fact, keep in mind, this is very, very casual. Just a lot of times it's kind of stream of consciousness as far as the show goes. But it's not rocket surgery. We're just talking about tabletop gaming. So usually I'll do a game unboxing or a review, or maybe like tonight, we're going to take a look at a RPG book or two, or maybe do a review of a role-playing game product. So anyway, also because this is live, there is chat available. So I don't know what's going on, if chat is actually working or not. So I'm actually going to type something in real quick. Is this thing on? Anyway, so just to shoot that out, see if chat is actually working or not. Like I said, it seems like there's some issues with YouTube servers tonight, because I was even getting a 500 error when trying to go check out my videos a few times earlier today. So I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, as I mentioned, there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of these stranger commenters at bay, but I do pay attention to the chat. So if you'd like to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question, or maybe there's something about City of Mist you want to get a closer look at, well, then by all means, please chime in. I will respond. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you check out some of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel and you like them, by all means, subscribe. And don't forget, ring that little bell, because not only will that inform you when a new video is uploaded, it will also tell you within about 5 minutes when the stream goes live. So easy peasy, pretty nice. And of course, be sure to tell a friend. In fact, tell 2 friends. And don't forget, there's also thegaminggang.com. So that is my website. There's a lot going on there. And of course, September 1st will mark the beginning of year 10 of the Gaming Gang. So pretty sweet, pretty cool. So a few other things we're going to touch base on. The contests. I still have the 2 contests going on. We have unlocked one of the prize packs for the 2nd edition of Pathfinder from Paizo Inc. That's right, I'm doing a PDF contest. So I'm doing the 2nd edition core rulebook, the bestiary. It's the 1st volume bestiary. They've already shared some art for the second volume. It looks pretty cool. As well as the Fall of Plaguestone standalone adventure. This adventure is not part of an adventure path. It is standalone. So all 3 of those are going to be given away to 1 lucky subscriber. And the contest is basically for every 65 subscribers beyond 1,600 that I get before September 5th, I give out one of these prize packages. So we have already done about 70. I want to say we're about 70. So it leaves us 60 away from doing another 2nd prize pack. I don't know. I don't think we'll get there. Hey, you never know. You never know. Suddenly, might get a bunch of subscribers. Usually, I would think that short a period of time, nah. So, just saying. So that is one of the contests. The other contest is for Twitter followers. And the other contest for Pathfinder, all you got to do is be a subscriber here on YouTube. That's it. And you're in the running. Because it's digital. I can send that anywhere in the world. For the Twitter contest, a little more complex how you can get involved in that. But if you are a fan of Everdell, then you're definitely going to want to try to get on board with this, because I'm giving away a copy of the Wooden Evertree. So for Everdell, that was my one ding on Everdell, was that just the tree, the cardboard was like too stiff. So I snapped part of it, and it was just kind of like, so yeah, pretty easy to tear that apart too if you were going to put it together and take it apart constantly. Also, as part of the contest, I've got Pearlbrook. Yes, the first expansion to Everdell. This is even the collector's edition that I will be including. So both the wooden Evertree, as well as Pearlbrook are part of the contest. Now, there is a tweet that I shoot out every day, and it mentions this contest. And all you have to do is, as I try to put this stuff back where I had it, without dropping it all over the floor. Anyway, I was going to say, all you have to do is retweet that tweet and include a comment. So when you retweet it, retweet with comment telling me why you really like Everdell. And that's it. You're in the running. You do have to live in the US or Canada to take part, because I'm on the hook for the shipping on this. So those are the two contests. I have another special contest. I will mention this both tonight and tomorrow. After that, I'm going to tweet it a little bit. I might even share it on Facebook, even though I don't do much with the Gaming Gang page on Facebook, because Facebook wants me to pay so it'll share my posts with people who already signed up to get those posts. Ridiculous, right? But they only show it to like 5% of the people who've signed up who like the Gaming Gang page. But anyway, I was going to say, I'm going to have a special contest, special giveaway. It's going to be on Tuesday, so it's next Tuesday's show. And interestingly enough, if you're a fan of Adventures in Middle-earth, you're going to want to tune in, even though I'm not really covering anything from Cubicle 7 Entertainment on Tuesday. But I'm going to have a giveaway, and you have to be watching live to be in the running. So, and of course, sorry, I got to say, you have to live in the US or Canada in order to win. So, you know it's something physical, as I'm on the hook for the shipping on that too. So, keep that in mind. All right, so what is cooking on the Daily Dope? So, on tomorrow's show, I've changed things up a little bit because I got something from AEG this afternoon that I really want to take a look at. It is Ecos, First Continent. This is on the horizon. For some strange reason, I don't think this hits stores until maybe like November. But this is an early review copy that went out. This is the latest design by John D. Clare, who has done Mystic Veil. He's done Edge of Darkness, which I'm not positive if that's out or not. I haven't gotten a review copy, damn it, because I was really looking forward to that. I got to reach out to AEG because they're funky on how they send stuff out to me again, and that is not good. Next, they'll send me some expansions for stuff that I don't have. So that they're famous for doing that. So anyway, but I wanted to take a look at Ecos. This is going to be an unboxing and first look on tomorrow's show. So that will be on the Friday show. Monday, I will not be doing a show. It is the holiday. So I'm going to be taking Labor Day off because I usually take major U.S. holidays off as far as doing the show. But on Tuesday, I will be back and I will be reviewing Imhotep the Duel from Cosmos. This was what I was going to do tomorrow, but I figured, you know what? This has been out a little bit. We can get like a jump start on Ecos, which hasn't even hit yet. So anyway, I'm sure Imhotep the Duel can hold until Tuesday. So I will be doing a review of that. Then Wargame Wednesday, I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Death Valley, Battles for the Shenandoah from GMT Games. This is supposed to be packed with quite a few different battles in here too. So pretty cool with that. And on Thursday's show, something else that just arrived in the mail today. We are going to take a first look and page through Rough Nights and Hard Days from Games Workshop and Cubicle 7 Entertainment. It is for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, the 4th edition. So that will be pretty cool. And then next Friday, I will be reviewing Valparaiso finally. So this will be on the Friday show. And then a week from Monday, a week from the holiday. Yeah. I gotta move off camera to get this. I will finally be reviewing Champions of Hera from my pals over at Greenbrier Games. So lots cooking, lots going on. I had considered maybe taking a 4-day weekend, taking tomorrow off, and then Ecos showed up from AEG, and I'm like, no, guess not. So I see Dan from No Enemies Here has arrived. Says, hey, I wasn't dinged. And he did get my video. So Dan is always kind enough to share my my little video I'll put together, and I send him along to tell him what's coming up on the Daily Dope the next week, the following week. And usually something changes. There's always... Sorry, so yeah, I see we're dropping frames again. So I don't know. Like I said, this seems to be a YouTube issue because my internet seems to be fine. If after the fact it turns out that there's way too many skips, or just the finished product, the finished video on YouTube just doesn't look that great, I will upload my recording on my end of the video. Of course, unfortunately, that'll wipe out chat, but it's either that or have, a really crappy video. So yes, it is showing that we are dropping a bunch of frames again. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Anyway, so yes, Dan, you said you weren't dinged. So I tried to start the stream. I think it was the 5th time. So when I finally was like, you know what? Let's see what happens. Well, let's see what we get. Because the first 4 times it was showing that I was dropping like 90%, 80 to 90% of the frames. So right now it's showing that we're dropping like 30, 40 frames every second. So yeah, this is not good. So I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I think this is a YouTube server error. It's a problem with YouTube right now. That's why I noticed it was very, very difficult for me to connect to some of my videos earlier. I kept getting 500 errors. So, and I know it's not my internet because I have double checked my upload speeds. Everything is fine. So it is a YouTube issue. There's nothing I can do about it. It is not the software that I use, because the software can't drop the frames. It's got nothing to do with it. So Cracked Neurons has joined us in chat and saying definitely there are dropped frames and skips going on. Yeah, there's, like I said, nothing I can do right now. I'm going to keep rolling with the show. We'll see if it kind of evens out a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to upload the video from my end, my recorded video. And unfortunately, chat will be gone. But sorry about that, gang. Like I said, it's not me. Yeah, right now I'm showing, like 14% of the entire show so far is dropped frames. So, and we had like straightened out and everything was pretty good. Let me go and try one other thing. I don't think this is going to help much. I'm going to drop down the output. Of course, it'll affect the video quality, but yeah, I'm still taking a look. It's not doing anything. That is not helping at all. So my apologies, but take it up with YouTube. Don't know what to tell you. It's all that. I got to be honest. Excuse my French here, but it's all this shit they're doing on the back end. They're changing all this stuff for the content creators, and how the YouTube studio is set up, and how we go about doing stuff with our videos, and just making everything just a huge pain in the ass. Where everything used to be really pretty easy, pretty intuitive. Now it's opening up all these different screens and windows, and it's just a load of shit, to be honest. So I bet you that's what's going on. I bet you it's YouTube's screwing around with that kind of shit again. So Flaming Huron says, they're popping in chat, by the way. So not so bad that they're late to the stream. So it says, so Flaming Heron says it started buffering on their end. So they're not sure if that is, that's part of it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be very honest. I think it looks like I'm just going to end up doing this video and having to upload the finished result. Because right now it's showing that we are almost at 20% of the entire show so far is drop frames. So I'm sorry, gang. Anyway, one last thing I was going to mention, of course, yes, because if you do follow the gaminggang.com or watch the show or check out the Gaming Gang channel all the time, then you know that this is pretty much a not-for-profit endeavor. So, if you like the website, if you like the channel, if you like the show, by all means, please consider making a small donation to Lil Bub's Big Fun. Whoops, where am I going with that? See, look at this. This is all like, I'm all discombobulated now because of this. Dan says YouTube has got us by the boxes. Yeah, pretty much. That is pretty much the case. Anyway, I was going to say, please consider making a small donation to Lil Bub's Big Fun and the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Yes, Lil Bub's Big Fun does provide monies and grants to organizations around the United States who care for special needs pets. Yes, these animals are awaiting adoption to find their forever homes, and that's what Lil Bub's Big Fun does help out with. So, as I mentioned, if you like the show, if you like the site, if you like the channel, please consider making a small donation. And if you do, by all means, please shoot me an email. My email address is right there in the corner. It's Jeff McAleer at thegaminggang.com. And so there was one other thing that I wanted to share with you. So I've been kind of bouncing around because if you follow the show, you know that I had mentioned that last Sunday, I spent the vast majority of my day teaching my nephew Cameron how to paint miniatures. Not, like Golden Demon Award winning miniatures, but good tabletop quality miniatures, or maybe a little better than that. So, of course, we were just kind of getting started, and I was giving him, the basics and things like that. So I'm thinking maybe what I'll do, because the weather's going to start changing soon enough, and usually the fall and winter, people like to stay inside, and painting miniatures is a good way to pass the time. So I'm considering maybe on Mondays doing some miniature painting on the show, where maybe I'd, share the tabletop gaming news of the day, and then do maybe an hour of just showing people tips. And basically it would be learning to paint miniatures on a budget, right? I'm not going to be telling you to go pick up all the Vallejo, paints and everything else. Absolutely not. So because that's what I did with my nephew. That's what I actually use a lot of times for most of my miniatures, are just cheap acrylics, because for one, I don't want to spend a ton of money. And especially for people who are just starting out in the hobby, they're not sure if they're going to enjoy painting miniatures or if they'll be any good at it. So why not show them how to get started, like on the cheap? So I actually shot a little bit of a video. So I don't know how well it's gonna come out here, but kind of zoomed in on some miniatures I've had. Gosh, I've had these for quite a while. Like I said, I haven't painted miniatures in quite some time before last Sunday. So these minis are probably about 10 years old for myself personally. And before that, these are old 25 millimeter Old West figures. So here's the video. So that is just an unpainted figure, and that is actually my my brush that I use for dry brushing. So I'm like pretending, yeah, I'm painting, yeah, la 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 la. So that would be an unpainted mini, and then here's one that's actually primed. And once again, I'm just gonna like pretend that I'm kind of painting something. So, I don't know. For one, it'd be a little difficult for me to actually paint, because I have to get a little closer to the miniature to be able to see. So, and then here's one that I was almost finished painting. This is from like about 10 years ago. So here I am, I'm pretending to put some of the finer touches on the miniature itself. And of course, this is like Cookie, right? This is the Camp Cook. So, and unfortunately, the miniature was with a bunch of other miniatures, so they all got kind of dinged up. But, kind of chipped. The paint's chipped a little bit. So yeah, so I am considering maybe doing some miniature painting. Don't know. Don't know. Anyway, so if you want to see that, either if people are still hanging out in chat, because I'm sure this stream has become just almost impossible to watch. But if you watch the video after the fact and you'd like to see me show, how to paint miniatures, how an average person paints miniatures, then by all means, leave a comment in the comment section. So sweet. All right, so that is it. We're going to jump on in now because I'm sure some folks are tuning in because they want to check out City of Mist. Yes, I am going to be paging through both the Player's Guide and Master of Ceremonies Toolkit. City of Mist is from Son of Oak Game Studio, as well as Modiphius Entertainment. Both hardcovers are available for $42.99 from Modiphius, or you could also get them in PDF for $19.99 from my friends over at Drive-Thru RPG. And of course, as I always point out, if you are going to visit Drive-Thru RPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banners, and that way, if you do make a purchase, you get a small portion of that sale. And that helps keep the Gaming Gang around. All right, so I'm going to move on over to the other camera here. So there we go. Here we've got the Player's Guide. I am going to pop on the old reading specs. Oh, yeah, boy, I'm telling you. These drop frames are not good. It's basically saying, it's pretty much showing that it's everything's dropping. So, I don't know. I have no idea. And the funny thing is, I was just thinking today how good the streams have been with the new settings and the better video quality and things like that. And we have had shows where there hasn't been a single dropped frame for, I think, like 6 shows in a row. And I was like, wow, this is pretty sweet. And now tonight we get this shit. So I don't know. All right, so we're going to jump on in here. City of Mist is, so from what I understand, and I do not know much about City of Mist, I have heard very good things about it. It won a Golden Ennie in 2016, so it's got to be halfway decent, right? You don't win Ennies with complete crap. Even, if the fix is in, it's not complete garbage that wins those awards. So it's kind of a detective noir superhero sort of game. It is powered by the Apocalypse, which means, if you're not familiar with that, it uses the Apocalypse World system, game mechanics. Although I do understand that there have been a lot of changes to this as well. So, jumping on in. First of all, I'm going to tell you, like most Modiphius books I have ever seen, the quality, the paper quality is really nice. Very nicely done book. Modiphius Entertainment doesn't put together lousy quality books, that's for sure. So we're going to jump into the basics. Welcome to the City of Mist. Obviously, the Game Master is called the Master of Ceremonies in this game. This book does contain all the rules, everything you need to play the game. So this is not a situation where you need to have both the Player's Guide as well as the Master of Ceremonies Toolkit in order to play. So that's important to point out. Everything you need is included in this book. All right, moving right along. So talking about moves. Moves are something from Apocalypse World. It's like I said, powered by the apocalypse. Moves are just something that the different characters can do. And a lot of times you'll have moves that everybody can perform, and then you'll have special moves that only particular sorts of characters can utilize. Interesting thing about moves, interesting thing about Powered by the Apocalypse is the game master never rolls the dice. It's always the players. The players roll dice. If they fail, then it's up to the game master to narrate what happens. And it doesn't always have to be like, super negative. It can be very interesting. So here we've got, it's a breakdown. So we've got chapter 1's the lowdown. So it's going to talk about the city. I believe that's what the locale is known as, the city. Who are you? Working the case, moments of truth. This strikes me as a game that would be probably excellent for someone who wants to run something like Fables. Bill Willingham's awesome Vertigo comic that I used to read all the time. It was there were 3 Vertigo titles that I would always get, and it was Fables. It was also Deus Ex Machina, and Why the Last Man, which is supposed to be something that it's supposed to be I think a television series they're gonna make for Why the Last Man. That's pretty cool. So Flaming Heron says, funny you offer that. Someone at our local game store is offering to teach people miniature painting. Jumping off topic for a second, stepping away from this. I have a video that has been out for a long, long time that I was going to show people how to paint miniatures when I lived out in Arizona, and it was just super difficult to get. And of course, the cameras weren't that good at the time. At least the ones that I could afford weren't that good. So I get emails all the time from people saying, hey, are you ever going to, maybe do that? Or because you started off and it was like tools of the trade. And I got the bug to paint miniatures a little bit. So yeah, I think that's kind of fun. See, now Flaming Heron, I got to point out, I don't own a game store. So me teaching people how to paint miniatures, I don't profit by that. So I can understand why somebody at the local game store would be looking to teach people how to paint. All right, so Life of a Legend. So it's going to talk about the city as well as the mist, because I believe the mist actually plays a part in. It's almost like a character in the game. Because the mist, because from what I understand, and yeah, I could be way off, but here we have the mythoi. So it's talking about the mythoi here, which is sort of like your superpowers. And the mist, actually, from what I understand, see where it says the veil of the mist, that when people use their special abilities and things like that, that the mist makes people think that it's not as, like, okay, somebody just leaped over a building. Well, the mist doesn't look like that. People don't see that somebody jumped over a building. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of what I've kind of heard through the grapevine. So, popping through here. Fairy godmothers and dragon devils in suits. Cases and crews. So another aspect of the game is that you can utilize this for various different genres, but what you still want to do is you still want to have a mystery at the heart of the game. So once again, this would probably be a system that would be very interesting to run something like The Watchmen, right? Another fantastic DC series from Alan Moore. And Dave Gibbons. Don't want to forget Dave Gibbons. So, talking about the session. So, I believe this is I think this is putting together your crew, maybe? Oh, okay. So, here we go. Character creation. So, series concept. So who are you as a crew? So here it's kind of like, what is your City of Mist like? True noir. So I mean, you can use this also as like a traditional mystery game, like a noir game. So it's a true noir, neon noir, modern day, generic comic book city, existing city, tapestry of realities, mystical mist or realistic mist. So all these different things. And we're talking about character creation, creating a concept. So okay, so we've got mythos. So mythos is your like superhuman power, supernatural power. And then you have your logos, which is kind of like your real world thing. What do you do in the world? What's your place in the world? Maybe you're an accountant. So your skill is in accounting. That's your logos. So we've got themes, theme details, series concept. So it says here, there are countless stories you can tell in City of Mist. Maybe you're all members in the police force, working day and night to solve the city's strange cases and protect at least some of the residents from things that go bump in the night. Maybe you are mercenaries, selling your extraordinary abilities and expertise to the highest bidder until a job goes wrong and shit starts hitting the fan. Hey, I didn't throw that in there. That's in here. I like the artwork. I like the comic book style art. So that's kind of cool. Talking about your city, creating your city. Another example of most games that are powered by the apocalypse is that the players have a lot of power as far as the creative aspect of your game. Whereas most role-playing games, the game master is pretty much doing all the heavy lifting as far as creating the concept, coming up with the adventures, stories, the background, world building, all of these things. Most powered by the apocalypse games open that up as well to the players. So we've got choosing themes. So you'll have a theme for your character. Mythos character tropes. That's kind of interesting. Musicians, scoundrel or peddler, sun god / goddess, good fairy or spirit, a ghost. In your logos, cat burglar, bounty hunter, doctor, retired citizen, mobster, gangster. Quite a few examples there. Then we've got theme books. I'm going to take a guess the theme book is probably similar to what are known as playbooks in most powered by the apocalypse games. Playbooks usually are kind of like based on what your character's class is, your archetype really is. So that's where it contains your different moves. So taking a guess, that might be what this is. All right, so Mythos theme book adaptation. Oh, is this going to show all the different kinds? Yep, there we go. Showing us all the various different Mythos types that are in the game, which of course I'm sure you can come up with your own as well. Expression. We have mobility. So it kind of gives you an idea of, well, okay, so what falls into this mythos here? So it's nimble, graceful, or dexterous movement, supernatural speed, flight, traveling as a cloud, a drop of water, or a ray of light, riding on mythical creatures, or magical transportation falls into the mobility. Relic. It's like trying to remember. Brother Voodoo. I was going to say, it almost looks like Brother Voodoo there. Bag of Many Blessings is a relic. We got Subversion, which I guess would be, well, we see invisibility, trickery, and illusions, thievery and stealth, hiding in plain sight. Very interesting. This looks pretty interesting. I heard this is an interesting system. I also heard through the grapevine that it can be, especially to newbies, it can be a little tricky to kind of get your handle on. So the thing I'm kind of curious about is that just simply coming from this player's guide. Maybe because I'm almost positive that this book came out and it was out for quite a while before the Master of Ceremonies book came out. So it is very, very possible that maybe if you have the Master of Ceremonies toolkit, that it makes it much easier for you to kind of jump into the game. So we got personality. So these are the logos now. The logos. So these are more the real world aspects. So routine, job or occupation, a political position, role in an organization, daily survival, bumming around, school, criminal activity. And then it kind of breaks down into, it's talking about, okay, so what is the concept? Power tags. So I'm taking this is probably another game that's kind of using keywords, maybe sort of utilizing keywords as far as gameplay. So then you talk about the weaknesses, extra tags, identity, how it affects crew relationships, train theme improvements. So what it looks like, because I am fairly familiar with Powered by the Apocalypse games, because I actually think it's a cool system. It's not for everybody. And those games are usually more aimed at people who like a lot of storytelling in their games and maybe not so much combat related. But, I mean, you can, like Dungeon World. Dungeon World's okay. I mean, there's some things that I would certainly change about Dungeon World. If I were, going to be doing like a dungeon delving fantasy Powered by the Apocalypse game. But it looks as if you're not really going to have a playbook. You'll have your character sheet, which is going to have like little sections that you're going to fill out. So you're actually kind of creating your own playbook. Is kind of the impression I'm getting so far. We'll find out when we get to the character sheet, that's for sure. It's not talking about the crew and the crew having a theme book as far as a concept. Another aspect of Powered by the Apocalypse games is the fact that there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions going on, and it's used, especially by the game master. It's used to kind of bring stuff out from the players, so that the players really do take part in creating that world, creating the story that's going on. And like I said, it's an acquired, I don't want to necessarily say, okay, I won't say an acquired taste. It may not be for everyone. Especially for game masters who like to be, like if I'm running Call of Cthulhu, or if I were running, say, a Lovecraftian mythos game, I don't know if I'd want to go with Powered by the Apocalypse. Because I don't think horror games, it's just an opinion of mine, and I know people disagree with me, but I think, in my opinion, you can't have a good horror game if it's open for everybody to have their say in it, right? For me, to have a good horror game, you've got to have a story, you've got to have kind of a plot, a little different than, fantasy role-playing games, maybe superhero games. But other than that, Powered by the Apocalypse, I mean, I have seen some, like, really fun and cool different genres that are set in Powered by the Apocalypse. So we've got the conversation. So it says, here we go, right here. Playing City of Mist is a conversation. You all get together in person or online, picking up where you left off. The MC describes the scene and then asks the players, what do you do? That's pretty obvious. That's what everything is in role-playing games for the most part. So, but with Powered by the Apocalypse games, you tend to have more of a free-form conversation going on, as opposed to usually with, like, say you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, or like Pathfinder, what have you, or most role-playing games. You're going to sit there and the game master's going to say, okay, well, this is a situation, what do you do? And then the players say, well, this is what we're going to do. And right away, the game master comes right back with, okay, well, then this happens, or rolls some dice, things like that. Powered by the Apocalypse is a little bit different than that. A little bit different. You're trying to keep kind of the die rolling, not to a minimum, but you're not going to overdo rolling dice. Okay, so here it looks like we're getting into, yep, how to play the game. So we went about 162 pages, and now we're getting into how to play. So here are the player rules. It's pretty, there you go, how to make a move, right? So as I mentioned before, moves are basically you're doing something. So here we go. So think cinematic. That's something else that I heard about City of Mist. They really aim for a cinematic feel to the action, which I'm a big fan of. One thing that I tend to tell, I told my nephew Cameron, his friends, because they had never role played before until I started running stuff. And I told them, imagine that this is a story that it's a Hollywood movie. Budget is unlimited. So you can do whatever you want to do. But think as like a movie, as opposed to sitting there and being like, well, geez, those people were poisoned by that apple. And what color was the apple? Okay, so let's peel the apple, and just suddenly getting all like crazy. It's like, do you think you'd see that in a movie? It's like, okay. Or what color was his shirt? It's like, who cares? Who cares what color the guy's shirt was? It has nothing to do with the game. All right, so we get the core moves. So it says there are 8 core moves covering the vast majority of actions players can take in City of Mist. It says rule of minimum 1. Some core moves define the benefit you derive from the move, such as clues, juice, or statuses you give in terms of power. This is when you make a move with a power of 0 or less and score a hit, you always get at least 1 point of benefit. All right, well, we'll have to find out what exactly that's going to be. I should point out also, usually with Powered by the Apocalypse games, you're only rolling 2 6-sided dice. So, and it's usually 7 or less is a failure, 8 or 9 is a success, but usually with some consequences. It's kind of like successful, but, and then 10 or above is serious success. So, facing danger, going toe-to-toe. Looks like talking a little bit about combat. Sneaking around. If your move is dynamite, maybe I should say dynamite. So that is one of the moves, dynamite. That's kind of funny. Or, I'm sorry, maybe dynamite is a roll of 12. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what dynamite is. Because it looks like that. So here, like, outcome on a 10 or higher, then dynamite is like 12 or higher. Okay. And cinematic moves. Montage. Geek out during credits. Then we get some game resources, talking about tags and power tags. Weakness tags. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Tags and crews. It's all about tags. How to use tags in your game. Different statuses. Statuses. Dead or might as well be. That's kind of funny. Wow, we are at 82,000 drop frames. That is just phenomenal. Unbelievable. I highly doubt anybody is still watching in chat. So we got tracking cards. That looks like something that might be for the I was going to say GM, but I guess I better say MC. We got talking about clues. Banking clues, okay. Juice. Juice points represent your ability to shape what is going on around you by using your abilities, resources, and allies. Gaining juice and spending juice. Banking juice as well. talking about secondary characters. So I'm taking a guess. Secondary characters would be... We're not talking... Well, I mean, obviously we're talking about NPCs, but we're talking about important NPCs. NPCs, I should say. Wow, I need a sip here. Jeez, I've been yapping too long without grabbing a quick sip. Anyway, probably important NPCs, like, say, Aunt May, and Spider-Man, or Mary Jane. How to develop your character, moments of truth. I would think there would probably be some folks out there who are kind of curious, what is the difference between City of Mist and Masks? And I'll be the first to admit I am not super familiar with Masks because I have not read the core rule book, but I do understand that Masks is more kind of traditional superhero, and it's more along the lines of you're playing teenage superheroes. So it would be perfect for something along the lines of like Runaways or Young Avengers or Teen Titans. Whereas this seems to be more of a looking at more of a mature setting and more of like I said, this is a noirish setting as well. If you're going to play, the City of Mist standard, default setting. Of course, obviously enough, you and your players are going to make changes to that as well. Talking about Avatar Hood, playing as an avatar. So I believe an avatar is somebody who has allowed their mythos side to take over, and a sleeper is somebody who has allowed their logos side, their real life side, to take over. So I believe you're supposed to kind of try to keep things in balance. Trying to balance the mythos and logos. So we've got some extra themes. Talking about allies. Bases of operations. This is my fortress of solitude. Your ride. So it's your vehicles. All right. And then here we've got our player moves. So, convince, change the game, face danger, go toe-to-toe, hit with all you've got, investigate, sneak around, take the risk. So these are the default moves. Okay, so then it looks like these are kind of like, I don't know if I'd want to say like phases, but we've got finally some answers, end of the road, make a hard choice, the montage, flashback, stop, holding, back, and geek out during the credits. So we saw all that explained before too. So here are these tracking cards that we've been seeing. And then is this a character sheet? So, sorry about that. Getting a little glare there. Let's kind of clean that up a little. So that is the character card, it says. And here are the these are where you kind of create those themes, which were kind of like their own moves. This is where you write those down. So, and then we've got improvements over on this other page. So these are theme cards, is what they call them. There we go. You get a sample playthrough. All right, and then Kickstarter backers, and there you have it. Surprised there's no index. Huh. Okay. All right. So that is the player's guide. This is I think it's like 313 pages. Is that what we just saw? So there you have it, a truncated edition of the August 29th episode of The Daily Dope. If you like the video, please give it a quick thumbs up. And of course, if you check out some of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel and you like them, please subscribe. Don't forget, ring that little bell. It will not only notify you when a new video is uploaded, it will also tell you when the stream goes live. usually within 5 minutes or so, and normally we don't have these problems. Anyway, I also like to point out when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, please visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you so much for watching, and happy trails. Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff.